Josh, what's your favorite Blink-182 song?
My favorite Blink-182 song is I Fucked the Dog.
Yeah? It's a pretty good one.
What's yours?
Where are you?
That's...
And I'm so sorry.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
It's pretty good, too. Welcome back to the podcast. This is episode 843 of the Purple Panda Podcast.
Yes, we said we weren't going to record this today at the end of the A24 quest. Or specifically I did, but here we are. We're recording it today.
Yeah, Colin lied to you.
Let's do it.
Text him. Say, Colin, why have you lied to me?
Yeah. What do we got for emails?
You know, I wish you wouldn't have brought that up because I forgot about it until now, and now I'm looking it up.
You don't have to.
It's too late.
Hey, it's up to you, man.
I mean, they probably don't exist. But
yeah,
we do have to talk about our email from last week.
What was it?
Age of Ads.
I have not listened to it. And I'm sorry. And I'm so sorry.
I can't believe you right now, Colin. Why have you not
Did you
listened?
listen to it?
I did listen to it.
You listened to it
a
for
good
both
chunk
of us.
Of it.
Good. Yeah.
I didn't listen to it for you.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I did listen to it. Why didn't you listen to it, Colin?
Okay, look.
Explain yourself.
When you're a busy man like me. Listen.
The worst lie.
Very busy.
Yeah. Are you?
I've been... Okay, I've been playing I've played Max Payne and Max Payne 2 and Max Payne 3.
Oh my god, you played all three?
I did play all three.
All the way through?
No.
Okay.
I don't have that kind of time. And I played 3 hours of Yakuza Kiwami. What more do you want of me? Speaking of, go watch my streams.
That's very funny.
So,
no new emails.
I have not. What do you think of Age of Ads?
That's the news. Okay, well let me pull up Age of Ads right here so I can give you a little bit of their songs and their actual titles because I don't remember any of them. But in the end, I think Age of Ads is a little bit too experimental for my taste.
Okay. So maybe I would like it.
Maybe. It feels there's a lot of like industrial stuff happening, kind of. You could feel that, especially with the title Age of Ads, kind of pushing that.
Is this the one with the 15-minute song on it?
Oh, probably.
No, it's not. Never mind. I'm bad.
Like the first 5 songs all are like 5 minutes, 6 minutes long.
Neat.
So yeah. Futile Devices, which is a decent intro to the album. Not my favorite song. Too much. I thought this song was too much. But it was okay. It's actually probably my favorite out of the first 5 songs, which is what I listened to. I thought Age of Ads was a lot of clanking and buzzing and whirling and kind of obnoxious.
Okay.
If they toned down the experimental stuff, I suppose, if they tone that down, I think it would be better. Okay. There's a reason why stuff is experimental, and it's because it doesn't sound good to the majority of people or anybody sometimes.
Yeah.
Which makes the experimental genre not a popular one like ever until it becomes mainstream.
Yeah, there's this concept, which is difficult to wrap your head around, that if it sounds rough to the ear, it's artistically different, and it's the Death Grips thing, where it's like, it sounds bad, but that sounds good. You know what I'm saying? And that's a big thing in the world of experimental music.
I know what you're saying, but I still tend to disagree. The fact that it's bad doesn't make it good music.
Well, it it's not like there are experimental bands where it's like they just like bang a gong.
Bang a
they,
gong.
they
Get it on.
they like scratch on a metal pan and it's just noise.
Mm-hmm.
And I can appreciate that. It's because it's so anti-music, but it's not good music. And then there are bands like Death Grips where it's like, this is music.
I think you're using a bad example.
Why?
Because I don't see Death Grips as music.
It is though. If you listen to it is there is a structure to it, and it is music. It's not accessible music, but it is music. It's like you can follow, you can bob your head to it, you can sing along. It is music, and it's catchy. It gets stuck in your head, or at least it gets stuck in mine. And
you know what gets stuck in my head? Lines from TV shows. That doesn't make that music though.
I
You know, I joke because it is music. Whatever, anything can be music.
Right.
Lottie fucking da. But that still doesn't make it good music.
No,
you know, but
it's
once
like
again,
there's good experimental music and there's bad experimental music. A bad experimental music is Masana. That is not good.
See,
I don't care if it's impressive. It's not even that impressive. They just made it very loud. I don't care if it's loud. It's not good.
See, but in my world, that is as good as Death Grips.
Yeah, but there's structure to Death Grips, right?
Yeah.
It is music.
But
you
does
can listen to
structure make it better than being non-structured?
It makes it more accessible, sure. I mean, there are Death Grips tracks that you can show to your average layman, and they'd be like, yeah, this is a thing I'd hear on the radio. It's the deep cuts that get weird, but there is, musical talent that holds it all together. Like, each individual member of Death Grips is very talented at what they do. MC Ride's a talented lyricist when he wants to be. Zach Hill, nobody can deny he's an excellent drummer. Andy Marin is a very, very odd but practiced producer. There's a lot of talent and there's a lot of work put into it. And it is listenable at best. I mean, some would say at worst. They're tracks that are, not all that weird. They do have those. But it is, it is kind of on the fringe of it's almost something that people who aren't super into experimental music can enjoy.
But does that make it any better than Mosan? What
Masana?
Masana?
Masana, there isn't that pedigree behind it, and in Masana there's no structure. It's just noise.
But that doesn't mean that it doesn't have thought behind it.
There is thought behind it, and I can appreciate what Masana's trying to do, but it's too much for me, and it's too much for most people. What difference Death Grips is, a lot of people, they can listen to it and not be like, this is horrible. They would just be like, this is too weird for me, but it is music. It's kind of like Bjork. You ever listen to Bjork?
I've heard
It's pretty alien, but it is music. It's just not my thing.
Yeah, but I mean, right now we're comparing like Jackson Pollock to Van Gogh. There's as abstract and as bizarre as it is, like people can still enjoy it.
Sure. Yeah.
Even though it's not my cup of tea, and I don't enjoy it, and I don't enjoy Death Grips either.
Yeah.
I don't.
No, I'm not saying people can't enjoy Masana. Yeah.
But I think if experimental items, so you talked about rubbing on a metal sheet,
Sure.
right? If you take something like that and you incorporate it into something and make it sound good, make it fit, make it feel like it belongs there, then I think it can have, a profound effect and still be an experimental piece and still be something that is enjoyable.
No, that we can agree on. That's something Death Grips is good at. They sampled a printer and they threw it into a beat, and it's just like, it works. it just fits and it sounds good. So it's like, go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I like to hate on Death Grips, fake hate, because I do enjoy the fact that they exist. I really do. If
Yeah.
they hadn't existed, I would have missed out on so many fun times with friends and family.
Yeah.
But I don't like them,
Yeah, that's fair.
and I don't think I ever will. I know what they do is and can be interesting, but I can't sit through that.
Hey.
Which is kind of disappointing because I would love to hear what they decided to do with that printer, but I just don't like it. I don't.
Yeah.
And I wish they sounded good to me. I do. I do wish I liked them. I wish I liked everything
and
in the end.
believe me, the reason I listen to them is because they sound good to me. It's not an appreciation over enjoyment factor. It's I think they legitimately are putting out good music. It's just you have to be into the industrial experimental side of things where you hear a machine noise with synthesizers going through it and you're like, that's good. That sounds good to my ears. Some people aren't there.
See, but I think that can sound good. There
Yeah.
are things that I've heard where they use that. They use all the same things Death Grips uses. They use all the same things as in Age of Ads, and it does sound good, and I like it. But there just isn't, the combination of that and everything else that's going on that makes it into something that is just a mess.
Yeah.
Of stuff that I dislike.
If you understand the samples and if you understand what's going on, it's not that much of a mess. And in the times when it is complex, if you now, not that this is something your average listener is supposed to do, nor I would expect most people to have done, but if you actually look at individual samples that Death Grips use to stitch together into a piece, it's actually kind of impressive the way they complement each other. And it can sound like chaos, but there's method to their madness because you can't think like, oh, they just threw it together. It's like it took them hours to craft that beat, and they absolutely knew what they were doing. It's just they wanted it to sound chaotic, and chaotic it does sound, but it's like they are skilled at what they do. It's just it's really what they do isn't for everybody.
Yeah. Well, and it could just be I've caught them at a very wrong point in my life where it's never going to match.
Maybe.
I was a much more chaotic child. Nowadays, nah.
Yeah. And I'm fed up with music, and I like something that's different.
Yeah.
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 So maybe
Meanwhile,
one day you'll put on the old bottomless pit, and you'll just go ham. But you never know.
I mean, I just think there's so much more music out there that just sounds better to me. And it doesn't all sound the same to me. Like, I mean, that's kind of what you ran into, right? Is that you're like,
Sure,
well, everything is just starting to become boring.
Music, it's like there was this like I said, my process of getting into Death Grips was like a 3-year thing. It was just I knew of Death Grips, but I was like, it's so weird. For like the first 2 years I knew of them, I was like, it's so weird, it's not my thing. But they kept sticking in my mind, and then I kept more and more getting like frustrated with the state of music and the fact that it's like originality gets snuffed out, and I kept going back to Death Grips and thinking like this is so original and it's so new and like people really like it for that, and it's like that's the appeal for me. It's so different, for lack of a better word. And then it opened my eyes to Danny Brown, JPEG Mafia, Cara Benito.
Those I tend to enjoy.
Right. Well, because they're a whole lot more musical than Death Grips. Like Death Grips, they have a lot of noise experimental qualities where it's like it gets less on the music side and more on this is just experimental noise. And therefore a little harder to listen to, but that's interesting to me. Whereas Danny Brown, he's done cuts with Kendrick Lamar. He's pretty close to the mainstream of the hip hop game. He does have that experimental edge that makes him interesting to me. And JPEG Mafia too, and Cara Benito, which is in some ways weirder than Death Grips. Yeah.
Honestly, I've been on the edge on whether or not I should do a deep dive into Caro Caro Bonito.
I don't know.
think
I don't
it'd
know
be
if
fun.
you'd find anything in it.
I don't know, man.
I mean, maybe. I mean, Caro Caro Bonito, I will say, when we're talking, it's more musical.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's actually not that experimental on a surface level.
I mean, I really, really dug that new album. Like, I
Yeah,
still
sure.
go back and listen to some of those tracks, and
It's a
I'm
sick
like,
album.
dang.
I mean, it's way different from all of her other stuff,
Yeah.
but it is a sick album. Just know that the other stuff's very not like that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you've said that.
Yeah.
But, I've thought about doing a deep dive.
Cool, yeah,
Because
go
I think
for
that'd
it.
be neat.
Because I'm gonna do that soon as well. I really liked. I haven't heard her first two albums all the way through. I've heard most of the songs off them, but I want to listen through them all the way through, and then re-listen to Time and Place and see if I get a new context for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bringing it back to Stefan Stevens.
Souffle Stevens.
Sue my demons.
Yeah.
Age of Ads. I've listened to a solid half of it, and I thought it was not for me, but I can definitely see the potential. And I don't think Sufjan Stevens is just my kind of artist.
Yeah.
His vocal quality that he has in almost all of his songs just doesn't vibe with me.
Yeah,
personally.
that's something I can agree on. Souffle Stevens, it's difficult for me to really get into his music because something about the quality of his voice and the way he mixes his songs is just doesn't click with me. I mean, the songs in Call Me by Your Name are really good, but that was really floaty, light folk music, and that works. But it's when he does stuff like this and stuff like Impossible Soul, where it's just like, I don't know, just something about it just doesn't grab me. So I'm right there with you, but I will give Age of Ads a shot because I want to like Souffle Stevens. I
mean,
so want to like him, but
I haven't listened to the whole album yet, but just try listening to the first 3 tracks at least, so we can get at least some of it to talk about for next time.
Sure.
So yeah, that's kind of what I got on Age of Ads.
I
You want to just jump into music since
Yeah.
we're already kind of there?
My song of the week is... Oh, jeez. I forget the name of it. Hold on. Hold on.
I can go if you want.
No, I got it.
Okay.
No, wait. Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
My song is Covet by Basement.
Nice.
Now, I texted you. There was 2 songs I was trying to decide between, and I finally went with Covet by Basement, and I might do the other one next week.
All right.
But Coven by Basement is a emo punk rack
Punk rack.
ballad to the tune of "Where's My Mind" by the Pixies, and it's just, I like the way it makes me feel. It's
Yeah?
this particular kind of sadness and like remorse, and I like it a lot. Makes
Yeah.
me feel all warm inside.
That's the one I would have picked as well when you sent those 2 to me. I didn't want to
Right.
affect your decision, but that's the one I would have gone with as well.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I like it.
It is neat. The other one's good too. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, that one's all right. But Basement, I agree. I think it's
Yeah,
a bop.
it's a good one. What's yours?
My song of the week is by Chumbawamba.
Oh no,
Guess what song it is, Colin?
I don't know anything.
It's
Just-
El Fusilado.
I don't know what that
It's
is.
El Fusilado. Colin, it's El Fusilado by Chumbawamba.
I don't know what that is.
It's a great song is what it is.
Okay.
It's about a man who gets shot like 10 times and he lives and he just leaves.
Good.
I love this song. I don't know. I was gonna do something by the Bright Eyes. I had 2 songs by the Bright Eyes that I'm like, oh, these are good. I like them. They're probably gonna be my song of the week. And then I found El Fusilado by Chumbawamba, and I'm like, dang, this is my new song of the week. I love it. I want to listen to it more. So that's probably what I'll do on my way to work today, is listen to that.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I've never cared about Chumbawamba past I Get Knocked Down, I Get
That's
Up
what
Again.
they did. I was trying to remember what
Yeah,
Chumbawamba's known
Tub
for.
Thumpin',
Sure.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
I get knocked down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, daddy boy. Yeah, so that song exists. But this song's way better. I don't know why nobody's talked about this song by Chumbawamba, but they should have, because I love this song.
Cool.
So yeah, El Fusilado.
Do you have anything else to talk about for music? Because I don't.
A little bit of Bright Eyes. So I've been digging into Bright Eyes. And I found First Day of My Life, and that song's a bop. I love that song. I'm not a huge fan of his vocals. He's got like this kind of shaky quality to his vocals, which I usually don't like at all, but like the rest of his vocals are good, so I put up with it. And then he did this song. They did this song called At the Bottom of Everything, which starts with like this weird talking intro. And I found this song to be very good as well. So if you want to give those a shot, do that. They may or may not be one of those may or may not be one of my songs for next week. We'll see. So yeah, that's what I got on Bright Eyes.
Sick. All right.
You want to go movies?
Yes. Here, I've got a. Hold on. I got a couple things.
Actually, I'm gonna start with a movie that I should have talked about last week.
Okay, go ahead.
I watched Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Good.
It has Lawrence Fishburne, and it's all right.
All right.
Go ahead.
All right. Speaking of Spider-Man, it was confirmed that Jake Gyllenhaal is playing Rey Mysterio in the next movie. So
Yep.
look for that.
Woo.
I got my movie of the week is. I can't do a drum roll with my mouth. Let's do it. It's The Ballad of Buster Scruggs.
Yeah, you saw it?
Yes.
And did you like it?
Yes.
No, you didn't.
Okay. You got me. I don't. Okay.
Colin liked a movie called Buster Scruggs by the Coen
The
brothers?
Coen brothers, yeah.
No.
The Ballad of Buster Scruggs is a western. Well, not really a musical.
Isn't it an anthology?
Yes, it's an anthology. It's 6 short films.
Very weird.
Unrelated 6 short films stitched together, and it's good. Some of them are a little weaker than others. In my opinion, number 2 is good. They're all good, but if I had to say a couple were more weak than others, number 2 is somewhat weak, and number 5 is pretty good, but it stretches on way too long. Like, it's way longer than any of the other segments. Like, a good portion of the movie is number 5, and it's just, I don't know, it just, like, killed the pacing. But otherwise, I liked them. A lot of people hate 3. I liked 3, actually. I didn't know people hated it. I came out of it, and I was like, man, 3 was really good. And Roberto was like, what? That's the one everybody hates. And I'm like, well, I liked it. So, it's like... Yeah, no, I liked it. The last one was really cool, and the first one was just crazy. So yeah, great movie.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to watching it. I haven't had hardly any time, so you'll see this week I don't have a lot of stuff to actually talk about me doing, because like the Ant-Man and the Wasp thing, that was a couple weeks ago. That was supposed to be on the last podcast.
Sure.
And Bright Eyes has just been like intermediate driving music. But yeah, no, I really want to see the Ballad of Buster Scruggs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked cool.
It's cool. It's pretty long and pretty slow, so bear that in mind. But it is good. It is good.
My movie of the week is Christmas related, because it's Christmas outside.
Oh boy.
Can't you see?
Is it that Kurt Russell one?
No.
Okay.
Oh my god, I don't want to watch that.
Me neither.
I kind of want to watch it, but I don't want to watch it.
I like the idea of Kurt Russell being Santa Claus, but I
Yeah.
also don't want to watch it.
Just imagine Kurt Russell coming into your house and giving you a gift.
The director
Eating your cookies.
of that movie has directed one other movie. You know what it is?
Angry Birds?
Angry Birds.
Yeah.
So...
I heard Angry Birds movie wasn't bad, though.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't hear anything about it. Good,
Okay.
good or otherwise. I just kind of...
I don't know who I heard that
I don't think
from,
anybody
but-
went to go see it because it's like,
I mean, that's
why?
fair.
Why would you?
That's fair. Anyway, my movie of the week this week is Christmas related, and it is Home Alone.
Hey,
Do you remember Home Alone?
I have very fond memories of Home Alone.
Me too!
You know why?
Why?
Because when I went to elementary school, the same elementary school you went to, sometimes before letting us go to Christmas vacation, at the end of the last day of school, for the last 2 hours of the day, they would just call off all classes and they would bring us all to one classroom, and then we would sit on the floor and watch a Christmas movie, and then they would let us go. And the one time I remember this happening, that like I remember what movie it was Home Alone.
Yeah.
So I watched Home Alone. I was super pumped to not be in class. This was like 3rd, 4th grade, maybe.
Yep.
I was super pumped to not be in class. So we watched Home Alone. We had like Christmas snacks, and then I ran home for the Christmas vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, have you seen... When's the last time you watched Home Alone?
We'll see. I was in 3rd or 4th grade. It was at school. We had Christmas snacks. That legitimately, I haven't seen it since then.
Wow.
So that's my whole memory of it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can't believe you haven't seen it since then.
No, why would I? Nothing can match that.
I mean, I guess.
I've peaked. That's
So, yeah, so Home Alone is this phenomenal Christmas movie. Who's it? It's by Chris
Hughes.
Columbus,
Oh.
written by John Hughes.
Yeah.
And the composer is John Williams.
Yes.
And it's phenomenal. This movie's phenomenal. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's just a pure classic.
Good old slapstick comedy.
Oh, yeah. You have Macaulay Culkin, who existed for this one movie and nothing else.
He's back, baby.
So I've heard.
He's back.
So I've heard. He's got a podcast.
He was in a Red Letter Media video.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I guess he just,
He reviewed Hackers.
he's been retired from the age of like 14.
Yeah. Well, what happened was he kind of blew up, and then he like became a homeless drug addict for like most of his life.
He befriended Michael Jackson, and they talked about awful dads, and then he had to go to court and testify for Michael Jackson, saying that Michael Jackson never touched him as a child.
Right.
That's what I know.
And then like the main thing I heard about him is like a couple of years ago he would go to random nightclubs and be a DJ.
Yeah, it was called Macaulay
Culkin's
iPod,
Yeah.
which is phenomenal. He would just go to places and play things on an iPod, and he'd just be like fake DJ for the night, which is fantastic.
Yeah. It's like, what else are you gonna do?
Yeah, well, and like he did a band that was based off of Velvet Revolver, I believe.
Okay.
Or no. It was like a weird cover band where they would cover songs and they would change the lyrics so it was about pizza.
That sounds right.
And then he made these drawings of like 90s characters and he would like put them up for sale.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's had a real weird life.
Well, because he's got nothing better to do. Just sitting on millions of dollars.
Because it's genuinely destabilizing to be a star that early in your life.
Oh my lord, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, he had an awful dad, but he made this movie, and yeah, he's got a crazy story. If you want to just look up Macaulay Culkin's crazy story, go right ahead.
Yeah.
It's a good time. Kind of sad, kind of cool. So yeah, you got him as Kevin McAllister, the main kid of the entire story, who gets left home while his parents are on a flight going to London. He believes that he has officially wished away his family.
I love the reveal of them having forgot the kid. Because what's the kid's name again?
Kevin.
Kevin. Yes, you said that. I love that opening. I saw the opening recently. I haven't seen the whole movie, but they're just at the, what are they, like at the airport or something, or like on the plane?
They're on the plane,
and they're
like,
like
as it's gonna be
I
leaving.
feel like we're forgetting something. And there's this like classic snap zoom shot. It's like Kevin, and then it cuts to him at home.
Well, and right before that, she's like, "Did we leave the oven on?" And the dad's like, "Yeah, we probably just left the oven on.
Yeah.
I'll call so and so when we get to London, and they can go shut it off." And then she's like, "No, that's not it."
And they just straight up forgot their kid at home.
Oh my god, yeah. And so he's still at home, and then there's two robbers who come and try to rob his house, and that's where all the fun shenanigans happen.
Yeah.
Where Macaulay Culkin just dominates Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern as two grown-ass men who are just getting bopped by a child of 8 years old.
There's some like stuff he does to them in this movie where it's like there's suspension of disbelief necessary because he would have killed these people.
They'd be dead as soon as the first paint can hit their head.
Well, isn't there a part where he throws a brick out a window and it hits Daniel Stern? And that might be in one of the sequels. He just straight up throws a brick out the window and it hits Daniel Stern in the head, and it's like he is dead.
Yeah,
like he is very dead.
It's absolutely bonkers. You know, there's the burning of the hand when he grabs the hot door handle. Yeah. There's the stepping on the nail and then falling down the stairs backwards.
Yeah.
There's the paint cans that smash into their face. There's the black ice where they slip. The stuntmen had to do a fall where their feet were up in the air and they smashed their backs.
Yeah.
Oh my lord. It was awful.
Yeah.
You know, stepping on ornaments that would snap and break, falling over on this, that, and the other thing. It was... this kid, I was not joking when I said he dominates these two grown men.
Yes.
Because he does.
Yes.
But this movie's phenomenal. You know, you have Joe Pesci, and Daniel Stern, which are I love watching these two guys. Yeah. And then you have... what's her name? Catherine O'Hara. Do you remember Catherine O'Hara?
No.
Nobody remembers Catherine O'Hara. She's fantastic in everything. I like her in everything I've seen.
Sick.
I like her. Anyway, if you get a second, look her up. You probably like her too. So that's my movie of the week. Home Alone.
All right.
Colin, you should really rewatch it.
Sure.
It's just a fun little shenanigan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I bought True Stories.
You did buy True Stories. It's right there.
Yeah. It's really good. I mean, it's really weird. I don't know if you'd like it. It's not a movie in the traditional sense. It doesn't have a narrative.
Uh-huh.
It's just a compilation of things that David Byrne thought he wanted to shoot. And then he just wanders in a cowboy hat and just starts talking. And he's driving around in a car. And he's talking about America. And it honestly comes across as David Byrne is just a crazy person. But I like it a lot. And John Goodman, he wants a bride, so he puts ads on TV like "Who Wants to Marry Me?" And he sings a country song at the end.
This sounds like something I would exclusively want to see.
Yeah, it's a weird time. It's highly interesting if you're a fan of like Talking Heads. But it's just weird because it's not a traditional movie. You just have to understand you're just seeing a compilation of things. And it was shot all around, all on location around small town Texas, and it's got themes of capitalism and consumerism and what that does to America. And it's got some really genuine, heartfelt commentary in there. But it's just the strangest movie you'll ever see. So, check it out.
All right.
It was almost my movie of the week, but I just switched it at the last second, because why not?
I mean, Buster Scruggs.
Yeah, Buster Scruggs is good. I rated Buster Scruggs higher, specifically because I didn't give True Stories a rating. It's the rare case of, like, I don't know what to rate this. So, check it out.
right.
See for yourself. It's pretty interesting.
You got another one?
No,
Because I have no more movies.
no, I'm good.
All right.
I want to talk about video games. Though.
No, we're gonna do a quick promotion.
Are we?
Yeah, we're gonna do a quick promotion. Not sponsored, but we are sponsoring. How's that sound?
All right.
There is a nice tour coming up that I just wanted to sponsor real quick in case your podcast gets any popularity.
Oh yeah.
In case this podcast here blows up. So Nice and the Gully Boys are going to be on tour from December 29th to January 6th, all across the Midwestern area, Wisconsin, Illinois, Ohio, etc. Tennessee. They're getting to Tennessee even.
Yeah, I heard them talking about that.
If you're in any of those areas, and Minnesota, of course. Yeah. So if you're in any of those areas, look up Nice, 3 I's, Niiice, and check them out. I am I took off work, so I am definitely going to their January 6th Minnesota concert. I am super pumped to see them again.
Yeet.
Yeah, so that's my little...
Abe just posted on
thing.
Snapchat that their year in review on Spotify, they got something like 26,000 Spotify plays.
Nice.
Yeah, nice. It's really good.
Well, and they're coming out with a new EP soon.
Yes.
Yeah. So
I heard the stuff off it. It's super neato.
Yeah, I'm really excited actually.
Yeah.
So quick shout out. There you go. I don't know if any of our actual listeners are based in any of those areas, but if they are,
go see him.
Definitely look them up.
Tell them Josh sent you.
not Colin.
Well, tell them Josh and Colin sent you. They know you. Well, I don't know. You haven't really met them.
I mean, I met Roddy and Sage.
Right.
I met Sage like 2 or 3 times, and I met Roddy once.
Sure.
But tell Abe Josh sent you.
Yeah, tell the hippie with the blonde hair. Oh, well,
I mean,
one of the hippies with the blonde hair. Tell the bassist hippie with the blonde hair.
There you go.
The guy might have a NASA hat on.
Yeah, that Josh and Colin sent you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then tell them good job because they rock.
Yes.
So yeah, quick. I don't know. Shout out. That's a good term. For Nice because we gotta support our boys.
Absolutely.
Our troops. No. Oops. Our men.
They're fighting for our right to party.
Beastie Boys. Dude, you should get them to do a Beastie Boys cover.
I will.
Okay.
I'll tell them right now.
Alright, let's talk about video games real quick. I'm going to talk about Spyro again. Spyro Ignite Trilogy, the first game. I 100%ed it.
No!
I did.
You don't get to talk about Spyro
I already did. It's done.
Darn it.
I 100%ed
I'm boycotting Spyro.
I beat that first one, and I 100%ed it. Boy. I had a great time.
You should cover a Beastie Boys song. How do you spell Beastie?
I don't care. I'm pretty sure it's not with a Y, but you should definitely spell it with a Y.
I did it I-E.
Yeah.
Hey, don't talk about Spyro.
Spyro's great. I love it.
They put Fortnite dances in Spyro.
I don't care.
You don't get to do.
You
don't get to do that.
I don't care.
I've seen footage of the Spyro games, and it's like, A, they look pretty broken, and B...
Really?
They look pretty broken.
Do they?
Yeah. There's tons of glitches, but I guess that's, like, not indicative of individual experience. I don't know. I saw Brown Man play it, and it was just it just broke on him a couple times, and I'm like, ugh, okay. But maybe he was playing a pretty early build.
Yeah, no, I didn't have any of that issue. I had a great time.
And it just looks like overall like not the kind of remaster I would appreciate. It's kind of like Ratchet and Clank. I mean, I did like Ratchet and Clank a fair amount, but it's like that's just because I have such love for Ratchet and Clank. Like I don't know if I'd have the patience for it for Spyro, so
I get that.
I'm probably not going for it.
That's fine.
But no, they have purple pandas that dab.
I haven't gotten that far yet.
There are pandas. I think it's in like the second or third one. They're pandas. They're purple and they dab. They're
That's our podcast.
Yeah, it is. They stole our intellectual property.
Yeah.
They're just like big purple pandas. They look like the old logo I had, which was just the thing I stole off Google Images, so I absolutely own it. They look like so they're purple pandas, right? And their idle animation is they just dab.
Yeah, that translated good.
And I was like, I'm done. I'm not buying this game.
All right.
And then there's dancing skeletons that do the floss thing.
Sure.
And I was like, I
haven't seen those either.
It irritated me so much.
And if I do see them, I'll just kill them. It'll be good.
Yeah.
Let's talk about another game you hate.
What's that?
Or I shouldn't say hate, but just will not buy.
What's that?
Let's talk about Fallout 76.
God. Well, there's nothing to talk about because it's a sham.
So this game came out, right?
Yeah. I hate to say I told the internet so, but I absolutely told the internet so.
Yes.
Everybody was like, "Oh, Fallout 76." You know what? I saw trailers for it. Everybody saw it. I was like, I saw a trailer for it, and they were like, "You know what? It looks like it might not be that bad." And I was like, "Are you kidding me?" This is Bethesda we're talking about.
I am right there with you.
I was like, I was like, I mean, maybe it's not going to be that bad, but it's still going to be pretty bad, right? I was like, there's no way it's going to be a polished experience. Turns out it wasn't.
Turns out it's garbage fire.
Turns out it's just the worst thing ever.
Turns out it's so bad that a week after it was released, it was dropped by 50% in price.
Yeah.
To $30.
Yeah. I saw that. I was like, oh, wow. I wonder how many people refunded it, like, immediately.
Oh!
They're just like, I'm not dealing with this.
There was a guy who just tore apart a GameStop because he was so mad that they wouldn't return.
Oh, man.
They wouldn't give him his money back.
Oh, boy.
Oh, my lord. But it's his own damn fault because he bought the game. Why would you buy this game?
Well, did you see that meme? It's just like, it's the Fallout 3 logo and the Fallout 4 logo and the Fallout 76 logo, and then underneath it, it's like Fallout 3, where's my father? And then Fallout 4, where's my son? Fallout 76, where's my refund?
Yes!
I was like, that's good.
That's great. Oh, my lord.
So, okay, if you're out of the loop, which you'd have to be living under a rock to not know about Fallout 76, but, like, there's no NPCs besides people and like computers that you talk to get your quests, so the world feels completely empty.
Yeah, no, it's an empty wasteland.
Yeah.
Which is the opposite of what people enjoy about these games.
Did you hear about how the PvP is designed?
Yes, I did. So when you're not in combat, you take chip damage, and you will not take regular damage until you either engage with the combat, or you are like a wanted criminal because you've already griefed people.
Sure. But it's like one-on-one PvP combat works as like you shoot somebody and you do like a fraction of the damage you typically would, and it works as a duel request. And if they accept the duel request by firing back, then the actual fight begins. The issue with this is, of course, the person initiating the fight will always lose. Because you initiate the fight, and therefore you're open to attack damage, but the person you attacked isn't until they attack you.
Yeah.
So they can get the power armor on, get the biggest, loudest gun they have. They can stand right by you and blow you away in one hit. And that's how PvP works in the game. Yeah. It's completely broken.
It's balanced, right?
Yeah. So, it's horrible. And apparently the game's just a buggy mess. There's no human characters.
Yeah.
So, like, you're just fighting...
You fight robots and bugs.
Yeah. It's just not Fallout.
Yeah, no, this game is the exact antithesis of what people liked about all of Bethesda's open world games. And like they recognized with Fallout 4, they're like, all right, so we went wrong in a couple of places. We know that. We're gonna try to fix that. And then they ended up getting rid of everything everybody liked, even a little bit. And they made Fallout 76.
Yeah. And it's just the worst. And then Bethesda's been like really stupid after launch, and
they've been stubborn as hell.
Yeah, they're just been like, it's like, you're not appreciating this.
Of course they're not, because it's garbage.
Yeah, it's like,
why did you drop it by 50% if you didn't agree with that statement?
Yeah, it's really dumb. And you know what the most depressing thing about this is? Bethesda, I need Elder Scrolls 6, all right?
And I mean, that's happening.
I'm not going to get Elder Scrolls 6 if they keep doing stuff like this and they just go under as a company.
I mean, they're not.
They need to hold it together at least until I get Elder Scrolls 6. Then they can burn in a fire for all I care. But I just need that Elder Scrolls 6.
Yeah, they're not going anywhere fast enough for you to have to worry about that, I don't believe.
Well, at least that's a silver lining.
So you know where that you know that quote, we have no plans of fixing this or whatever?
Yeah, right.
You know where that came from?
Where?
It's not about the game. It's about they released a deluxe super extra Bagonzo edition of the game.
Right, sell the game for $80 rather than
$100, more like it.
Gosh,
probably.
Yeah. Okay.
You get a little tiny helmet of power armor, you get a little manual, you get the game, and then you get what was supposed to be a canvas bag, a good solidly made canvas bag that had Vault-Tec boy on it, Pip-Boy, cool things. And then people were like, oh, that's kind of neat, I could use something that says 76 with the cool Vault colors. So they bought it. When they got it in the mail, that canvas bag was made out of like nylon garbage plastic.
Well, I mean, honestly,
no. It was shown to be a good canvas bag.
Honestly, I don't get collector's editions at all.
I don't get them either.
So
but
and they're
I love
always
this.
garbage, and you can't expect them to not be garbage. Especially Bethesda properties, they're always terrible.
Yeah,
like the Pip
true.
Boys they sent out with Fallout 4 were just like plastic toys that weren't big enough to fit on their core audience's meaty wrists.
And that's so stupid.
So it's like, of course.
Oh my god.
That's fine.
But anyway, it caused this huge thing on the internet. People were going back and forth, and then somebody on the Bethesda, I believe Twitter or something, said, we know that wasn't the product we promised. We realized that the canvas bags were going to be too expensive, so we decided to make them into this shit nylon, and we're not doing anything to fix it.
This is Abe's response.
You should plow Josh's giving. Thanks, Abe.
Okay.
Wow. I mean, yikes.
I mean, yeah.
That's what I get for trying to be a nice guy and advertise his stinking band. He wants me to have a good time with my rear.
Okay, tell you what, I'm gonna tweet it at them.
Great.
Oh no, that's an ad. Anyway, continue with what you're saying.
But yeah, so they basically said that, and then they were lit on fire by the internet.
And then just recently,
it's fantastic.
The most recent development is a lot of the customer data of people who are playing Fallout 76 got leaked this week. Mm-hmm. So, there's that.
That's great. That's good. Oh, and the compensation. So they said they weren't going to do anything about the bag, right? And then I'm sure somebody got fired because that thing became a huge meme and they were burned at the stake by the internet. And so somebody got in a lot of trouble. And so in compensation, you know what they did for compensation for spending $100 and not getting what you actually paid for? They gave you 500 caps of in-game currency.
Sure.
People have done calculations on what that can buy you in-game. How much do you think 500 caps can get you in a Fallout 76
I've played Fallout
game?
4, and 500 caps isn't that much.
It can buy you a potted plant.
Sure.
And a door.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
that's what 500 caps can get you.
I'd buy
of
that.
in-game currency. For your $100 spent, oh my god, I was losing my crap when I heard this. I was laughing so hard. I am baffled by. I'm not baffled. This makes total sense. This all makes too much sense.
Yeah.
Bethesda, get your shit together.
Yeah, and release Elder Scrolls 6. That's all I care about.
I mean, it's not even done yet.
It's like I wasn't even gonna play Fallout 76, but don't you dare put online multiplayer in Elder Scrolls 6.
I hope it's there. I hope it's just a garbage fire as well.
Cause that's when I'm really gonna lose it. If that happens, like I wasn't planning on, but even if everybody's like, "Oh, Fallout 76 is pretty good," it's like whatever. I'm not gonna get it.
I mean, yeah.
But if you mess up Elder Scrolls, then I'm coming.
Yeah, Colin's coming.
I'm coming to your headquarters.
You better be scared.
I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you.
You know, if they mess up the new Skyrim 2,
yeah,
I don't know how much longer they can last if they absolutely mess that one up.
Well, it's like because they've completely pissed off half their fan base, and now the other half are waiting with bated breath to see what happens next.
Yeah, still irritated after they decided to release what was that called? Elder Scrolls Online.
Right?
Yeah.
But that was okay because it
turns out all right.
It wasn't a dumpster fire like Fallout 76, and it also wasn't a core Elder Scrolls entry.
Yeah.
It was made by another company, clearly not supposed to be a straight up Elder Scrolls game. So people were like kind of okay with that. Like they're kind of irritated that they weren't instead putting the resources into a follow-up to Skyrim, but people weren't that upset.
Little did people know that they would be resold Skyrim 5 times in the coming years.
Yeah, I can't even complain about that. I've bought it 3 times.
Yeah.
Simply because I like it so much.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
You got video game?
I do.
You want to talk about that?
I am delving into the Max Payne series, all 3 of them. Now, here's how it went. I was watching videos about Max Payne 3, and I was like, you know what, this looks like a lot of fun. I don't know how come I've never played it before. So I downloaded it. I bought it for $20. And I was downloading it, and then I was looking around at more videos related to that Max Payne 3 video, and I was like, you know what? I feel like going through the whole Max Payne series, because it's 3 games. I held up 2, but I meant 3. It's 3 games, right? And so I looked around. It's like you can get a pack for the first 2 games for $15, and I was like, nice. Okay, $35. I got the whole series. And I sat down to play Max Payne 1. No audio in the cutscenes, and the audio is broken everywhere else in the game. And I was like, I Googled it, and it was like, oh yeah, everybody who gets this on Windows 10, this happens. And I was like, but I've come to expect that because I've played old PC games on Steam before. There's always something like that.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, how do I fix it? And then it took me about 45 minutes of troubleshooting and getting the right file, and then actually coding it into the game. And I was like, and I fixed it, and it works like a charm. It's great. And then I was playing that for a while, and then I was like, after about 2 or 3 hours, I gave it a break, and I was like, I want to jump right to Max Payne 3, just because that was the one initially I wanted to play. So I'm going to play a little bit of that, and then I'll probably come back to Max Payne 1. And Max Payne 3, it crashed my PC on startup, and then I booted it back up, tried it again, and it crashed it again. And so I Googled the fix for that. I was like, this is entirely too much maintenance. This is why I play games on console. I Googled the fix for that, yet more coding. And it turns out it defaults to a weird, wacky resolution that just crashes a lot of computers. It's 800 by 600, and for some reason that it just doesn't start up, and it just freezes the computer when you. So I had to go into the game files and manually change the resolution from there. All right, and then it worked. And then I I played it for a couple hours, then I lost audio in all my cutscenes, and I was like, I'm done trying to fix these busted games for now. I'm going back to Max Payne 1 because I already fixed that one. Forget Max Payne 3 until I get there in the series, because it's a broken port, and frankly, the developers responsible should be ashamed, and it's Rockstar, so I guess it's kind of par for the course. They have a history of horrible PC ports.
Oh, that's great.
And I continued to play Max Payne 1, and it struck me how much better of a game Max Payne 1 is than Max Payne 3. Max Payne 3 is nicer, but it's like Max Payne 1 feels like it's just a solid game. It's really good. My only issue with it is it's got some really random difficulty spikes, and your guns, your reticuled acts more like a suggestion than an accurate barometer of where you're shooting. So it's just a roll of a dice every time you encounter bad guys as to whether or not you're gonna, come out alive.
Nice. Nice.
So but it is fun in that visceral John Woo jumping over a table in slow motion and like shooting a guy behind you kind of way. But it's like there's a lot to be desired as far as game design goes. And then, lo and behold, the holy grail of the night. After my session with Max Payne 1, I was like, let's put up Max Payne 2 just to see. I haven't had to fix it yet, which is good. It worked just right off the bat, which is really nice. And I was starting to forget what that felt like at this point. And Max Payne 2 is an amazing game, and everybody should play it because it fixes all the problems from Max Payne 1, and it's a lot more fun and a lot less frustrating, but it doesn't have the modern day, like, ooh, look at me, I'm a movie thing that Max Payne 3 has going on. And Max Payne 2, Fall of Max Payne, gets 2 thumbs up from me. It's my favorite in the series, but I'm going to try to beat all 3 of them, and then I'll give a report when I do that. But absolutely buy Max Payne 2, if none of the other 2, because it's a hidden gem, and more people need to play it. Yes.
All right.
Oh, fun thing I wanted to say about Max Payne real quick, though. It's developed by Remedy, who made Alan Wake. And there is a Twin Peaks parody in there, which was very funny to me, because Alan Wake is just a big Twin Peaks parody in itself. So they've just loved Twin Peaks for a long time, man.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That's my 2 cents on the Max Payne series. Check it out.
Check it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have a whole lot else to talk about.
Okay, let's talk about there's this little indie game being released tonight.
I don't like how you started this.
1 or 2 people may have... I've heard like 1 or 2 or a couple million people losing their minds about it on the internet.
Is it Petey's Revenge?
Yes, it is Custer's Revenge 2.
No, Petey's Revenge.
Yeah, it's called Super Smash Brothers 5.
Yeah, Petey's Revenge.
Petey's Revenge.
Because Petey the Piranha is in it, and he's my main already.
Petey?
Yeah.
I thought it was just Piranha Plant.
It is, but his smash is he turns into Petey Piranha.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, no.
It comes out midnight Easter time, which is 11 p.m. for us, and you can bet that I'm going to be staying up all night playing it.
Tight.
So I'll give you an update on that when I've been playing it for a little bit there, bud.
All right.
I'm really liking Yakuza Kiwami.
Yeah.
Check out my streams.
Okay.
That's it.
Tight. I'm going into finals.
Cool.
No.
Are you prepared?
It's not. I'm prepared, but I just don't have time to do anything else.
I was being sent pictures of Abe's test.
Yeah?
Maybe I shouldn't say that publicly. I don't know. He was sending me pictures, and it was just the worst test ever. Because it was like there's 1 obviously correct answer, 2 obvious decoy answers, and 1 obvious joke answer for every single question.
That's great.
And he sent me like 8 questions, and I was like, I could take this test, and I have no clue what it's about. It's just like so obvious. It's like, what is the importance of this? And then the first answer is, there is no importance of this. The second answer is, the importance is, and it's like a really long and technical sentence. And then the third answer is Mexican pizza. And then the fourth answer is just another like obvious, like, that's not it. Or it's like people think that's important but it really isn't, or something like that. It's just the worst test I have ever seen. It's to the point where it's pointless. I could easily take it. And
yeah. A lot of tests in college that I've found so far, like there's been a few that I actually like needed to study, and I do study for all my tests. But the majority of them are like that. Like right now, I'm gonna be taking a test in my acting class as of next Tuesday, and I'm not even worried about it because somebody asked, so what's this test gonna be like? He's like, okay, well, it's going to be all true and false and matching.
Yeah. Those were always the easiest.
I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm in a college level class and I'm going to be taking a test with just true and false and matching.
Yeah. Matching was kind of counterintuitive because you only really needed to know about half the answers.
Yeah.
Then the others would just kind of fall in place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this class's test right now is just a big joke to me. Not to mention the teacher, like he's such a nice guy, but he handed us essentially a cheat sheet. He's like, here you go, this is going to be the whole test.
Yeah, like some teachers would do that in high school too.
Yeah, I guess they still do that in college sometimes.
Somehow you're allowed to do that. It's just like, yeah.
Like I don't actually have to learn the material. I can just memorize it 5 minutes before class.
Yeah, and we've had teachers who give us the test and we get to look over it, and then like they don't let us use those during the test. I've had teachers that let us use those during the test. It's rare, but it's happened.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, here's all the answers, here's the test, match them.
I had
like
an entire college class.
Why even take a test at that point? It's just pointless.
I had an entire college class where the teacher at the very beginning of the year, she's like, all right, so I'm pretty strict, and I know some of the students, they dislike how I do class, but I do it for a certain reason. So all my tests are in class, no partners, no notes. You have to know the material and you have to take the test. My final at the end of the year is no notes, no nothing. You sit down, you take the final, you leave. And then the next day, she's like, all right, so test this time because I like you guys. I'm gonna make it so that they're all take home.
Oh. And so it's like it's an automatic.
You use your book, take the test home, use the internet.
It's an automatic A+ then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this was not for like an easy course. This was like one of my like harder course classes.
Yeah.
That I'm like, oh, I don't know about this class. This might be a little difficult this time around. But she's like, nah, just take it home. And then for the final, which
you could just Google all the answers, right? Like
you could.
Yeah.
I mean, you won't. Sometimes you won't get the right answer because
Right.
Google's a little finicky like that sometimes.
Yeah. Oh,
But I mean,
know
the book just had it all.
Yeah.
Easy peasy. I mean, and she would never put her her slides on anywhere where you could get them. You had to take notes during her class. She just gave us the slides, like printed out the slides and handed it to us.
Sure.
I'm like, what is this class right now? Very bizarre. Like college so far, some of the classes have just been easier by far.
Yeah.
And then the final ended up being open note, open book.
Yeah. That's like yeah.
I was so baffled by that class.
Yeah. Well, it's like it's what we got in high school, so a lot of people it's just like that in college too. But you would expect things to be harder, but apparently they aren't always that way.
I mean, not really. Like as long as you have some decent common sense and you can do some moderate critical thinking, college isn't bad.
Right.
You know, like the worst it got for me was calculus because I hadn't done calculus before. And I took a calculus class.
If I can get away with it, I'm going to see if I can not take any math classes for the rest of my life.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that.
Yeah.
I plan on doing the same.
Yeah.
Even though I
'Cause it's
enjoy
like,
some math,
I'm
I
an
do
adult
not enjoy
now.
calculus.
I'm an adult now, and if a teacher tries to tell me you're gonna use this, I'm gonna tell them no. I'm not gonna use this. Most people do not use this, especially if I do not plan to get into anything mathematics related. And we've got phones and calculators and
Well, see, that's the nice thing is my entire time throughout calculus, except for one very small portion of the test, was all with a calculator because I think they've finally started to realize that no matter where you are, you're gonna have a calculator.
right. You'll have your phone on you. You'll have a computer. You'll have.
Yeah.
I myself carry my calculator in my shirt pocket.
Yeah, I have my scientific calculator, graphing calculator on me right now in hand.
Right. Yeah. It's like it's just always on you.
Yeah.
I should carry a physical calculator. and think of the environments I'm in, right? Like rowdy college parties. I should find every excuse to use it. Or somebody's like, is like, how many beers have you had? And then and then this other guy's like, well, let's see. I had the one beer earlier, and then 2 beers like an hour ago, and then I'm like, hold on, get the calculator out.
Oh Lord.
I'll calculate your blood alcohol content. How much do you weigh? I'm gonna need the.
I already have the graph. You just have to
Yeah.
input these 3 calculations, and we got you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that'd be good. You know, I already got the sine and cosine. All you have to do is let me know how fat you are.
How much booze you had?
Oh yeah, bud.
Nothing better than Midwest nerds.
Yeah.
It's like you do the nerd voice, but you also do a thick Midwest accent, like in Surviving Edged Weapons.
That's that whole movie.
I
It's
love
so
it.
good. Oh, that was like the one documentary that I think I've ever actually cared about.
Yeah,
Maybe De Palma now,
sure.
but yeah, dang.
Anywho, we should wrap this up because we're rambling.
We are.
Let's call it an episode,
All right.
and we'll call,
It's an episode.
we'll call you next time we need help.
Hey, next time we need help.
I don't know.
I'm trying dad jokes.
I-
I'm trying to be a dad.
Sure.
I have children on the way.
Hey, this furniture store keeps calling me. All I want is one night stand. He gets it. He gets it. Sam's a dad now. Well, and he's not actually a dad, but he has a sweater.
He's got a dad sweater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, well,
What's a magic dog?
I don't know.
What do you call a magic dog?
I don't know. What do you call Magic Dog?
Labracadabrador.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Oh, yes. That's it. That's
I don't-
the end of the show.
I don't buy any Velcro products. They're a total ripoff.
What did the bull say to his son as he left? Bye, son.
No. Alright, we gotta end it.
Yeah, that's it. We're
All right.
out.
See you later,
Peace.
fam. Bye.
Bye.